Hey everybody, it's Cheryl from Muppin.com, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about protecting yourself when you're sewing. I'm actually talking about protecting yourself from a repetitive motion injury. When you're quilting or you're doing the same motions over and over again, you actually can injure your hand. And a year ago, in May of 2014, I actually injured this finger right here by overdoing it with my heirloom sewing. So I was just smocking away, and next thing you know, I was like, I gotta finish this project, move it past the point of pain, and that really made a big mistake. Ended up having to go to the doctor and had 6 weeks of physical therapy to gain the strength back in my hand after I let my injury heal. So I don't want that to happen to you, so I pass along some tips that you can use to protect your hands, your wrists, and your shoulders. So we're going to talk a little bit about protecting your hands while you're sewing, and what you're going to do is try to find something that reduces the stress when you're pulling on the needle. So the more you pull on the needle and you create this pressure point here between your finger and your thumb, and you're just going to, and if it's stuck, this is what got me in trouble. I was working with a particularly difficult fabric, and I would pull, and the harder I would pull, it felt like I was putting a lot of pressure right here on this part of my hand. So what I found is really helpful are these Dritz Low-Ran, actually this is Low-Ran brand by Dritz, and these are needle pullers. And how they work is you just stick one onto your forefinger and the other one onto your thumb, and they've got room here for my long fingernails, which is nice. So that creates a grippy section here, so that you're actually pulling your thread much easier than you were if you were not using anything there. They also have those little round circles of rubber that our grandmothers used to use, and you would still make those, and you can use those to grip your needle as well. I've had friends use pliers and all sorts of other things. You know what? Stick with something that's already on your hands, and that will reduce that pressure and protect your hands during handwork. The other thing I found that was useful, these are thermal thimbles, and they are great for when you're ironing. You put these on, and they protect your fingers so that you don't burn yourself. But they're actually grippy enough where you can actually use those to grip your needle and thread as well. So these have dual purpose, which I like as well. Let's talk a little bit about protecting your wrists, because the arm that holds your work, so if this is the hand that's sewing, the hand that's doing all that work, it's actually holding up quite a bit of your project. Now, you can do exercises to build the strength up in that arm, and I think that that's really important. You would always exercise, you would always stretch before you go for a run. There's no reason that you shouldn't stretch and sort of get your muscles ready before you start sewing. That's really important too. But this hand that's holding up the work, actually when you are pushing down, you're pushing down on this wrist as well, and that's creating a pressure point here. And trust me, I know this from experience, you can actually really make this area of your arm sore and create another repetitive motion type injury with that. So what I recommend is that you either use a surface, so your table or whatever, to support your arm, or get one of those wrist guards that actually you can get from your pharmacy, in the pharmacy section. Get a wrist guard to actually help support that hand, because if your quilt is very big and it's very heavy, that's a lot of weight that arm is holding. So you're going to want to make sure that that is protected there. So that's how you can protect your wrists. Now let's talk about how you can protect yourself at the machine. So when you're at the machine, a couple of the things that you want to be concerned about are making sure that you don't put too much stress on your shoulders. Now, I'm a kind of person that keeps a lot of stress in my shoulders, so working at the machine sometimes can be a real struggle. So what I found is really helpful is to use some sort of gloves or some sort of protecting or grippy type gloves like these ones here. They have little plastic dots on the top of them, and when you wear them, you're able to push the quilt sandwich with your arms and your elbows more so than your shoulders. And good posture is always really important, so you want to keep your shoulders back and actually just continue to push the machine or push your quilt sandwich through the machine as best as you can with your arms and not so much your shoulders. This is really going to help, especially with the grippy protective, the gloves. They're really going to help you push and grip the fabric, and a slippery surface is also another key to keeping your quilt sandwich sliding around so that you can make free motion quilting a lot easier. I hope you found something useful out of all of these tips, and again, be sure if you have any pain at all, you should consult your doctor first and make sure that they get you fully checked out, because that's obviously their job and not mine. Be sure to follow along on my blog at www.muppin.com. We're going to be doing some fabulous giveaways and other types of things, so be sure to take a look on the website, and I hope to see you there soon. So bye!